Imagine you're walking down the street, and suddenly, someone bumps into you. Your coffee spills, your clothes are ruined, and in that split second, a surge of anger rises. Do you lash out, or do you take a breath and respond with calm? Most people react instantly. They let emotions take the wheel, leading to regret, unnecessary conflicts, or stress. But the wise, the disciplined, they respond, they pause, they take control. This is the heart of Stoic wisdom, the ability to train your mind to respond rather than react. And in today's chaotic world, mastering this skill is more valuable than ever. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, understood this deeply. They believed that external events don't control us. Our perception of them does. We cannot control what happens, but we can control how we interpret and respond to it. Think about Epictetus, a man born into slavery. He had every reason to react with bitterness and hatred, yet he chose to cultivate inner freedom. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That single belief allowed him to endure hardship and rise to wisdom. Modern psychology echoes this truth. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, wrote in Man's Search for Meaning that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space, we have the power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. How do we develop this power? How do we stop being slaves to emotions? First, we must recognize the triggers. Observe yourself. What makes you react impulsively? Anger? Fear? Ego? Identifying these triggers is the first step in reclaiming control. Next, practice the Stoic pause. When something triggers you, take a breath, count to 3, ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Will my reaction help or hurt? This simple pause creates room for wisdom to step in. The Bible reinforces this idea. Proverbs 16:32 says, "Better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city." True strength is not in domination, but in restraint. The strongest person is the one who has mastered their impulses. Another practical Stoic tool is journaling. At the end of each day, reflect on moments when you reacted instead of responded. Write down how you could have handled it better. Over time, this habit rewires your thinking. Imagine two traders in the stock market. One sees a dip and panics, selling in fear. The other remains calm, analyzing the situation rationally before acting. Who do you think succeeds in the long run? The one who responds, not the one who reacts. This principle applies everywhere, in relationships, in business, in daily frustrations. The more you train your mind, the more power you gain over your life. It won't be easy. Mastering your reactions is a lifelong discipline. But every moment you practice, you move closer to wisdom, peace, and true freedom. Let's take it a step further. How do we train ourselves daily? Start with mindfulness. Every morning, take 5 minutes to sit in silence. Breathe. Observe your thoughts. This practice creates self-awareness, which is key to breaking reactive patterns. Then, practice detachment. Seneca advised imagining the worst-case scenario. By visualizing setbacks before they happen, you lessen their emotional grip. When the real challenge comes, you're already prepared. Another strategy is reframing. When something upsets you, flip the perspective. Instead of thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" A delay, a rejection, a failure. These can all be seen as lessons rather than obstacles. Let's look at a historical example. Nelson Mandela, after 27 years in prison, could have emerged filled with rage. Instead, he responded with wisdom, forgiveness, and leadership. He understood that bitterness would only chain him further. His ability to respond rather than react reshaped an entire nation. On a personal level, think about your own experiences. Have you ever said something in anger and regretted it? Have you ever acted on impulse and faced consequences? Now imagine how different things could have been if you had paused, breathed, and chosen your response wisely. Even in small moments, like dealing with rude customer service, handling criticism, or facing delays, your response defines your experience. Every moment is a chance to practice. Over time, this practice becomes a habit, and once it's a habit, it becomes who you are. A person of wisdom, a person of control, a person of peace. The power of response is not just about personal growth, it's about influence. Leaders, great thinkers, and successful individuals across history have all mastered this ability. They don't let external chaos dictate their internal state. Instead, they remain calm in the storm, making rational, thoughtful decisions that shape their destiny. Think of Abraham Lincoln. During his presidency, he faced intense criticism, betrayal, and war. Yet he rarely reacted impulsively. Instead, he took time to reflect, analyze, and respond with wisdom. His ability to control his emotions and see the bigger picture made him one of the greatest leaders in history. You have this power too. It starts with awareness, then practice, then mastery. Every time you pause before reacting, you reclaim a piece of your freedom. Every time you choose response over reaction, you move closer to the person you aspire to be. If this message resonated with you, make sure to subscribe for more insights on mastering your mind, overcoming challenges, and living with wisdom. Your support helps spread these timeless principles to more people. And remember, every moment is a choice. Choose wisely, and I'll see you in the next one.